culture into, especially a lesser known like indigenous culture, into the celebration of hair, into again that whole like going from hating your hair because you don't know what to do with it to fully embracing it as a part of yourself.
Absolutely. Embracing is definitely big. I know the feeling because I have highly textured hair as well. And so I know going through life, you're always like straight.
Right. It's everywhere too.
So how are you embracing your hair? I love your beautiful locks. Tell me a little bit about how did you get so interested in locks?
So when I was in Puerto Rico, I got my locks done when I was 14 and it was terrible. They used egg whites in my hair. They backcombed and dipped my head in egg whites, and then my head stank for like 2 days. And so I was like, well, okay, obviously it's not for me.
Right.
So I went back to straightening my hair.
Okay.
Well, I sort of, once I started getting back into hair and got my license, thought maybe I could revisit it. And instantly it was like a calling. Like I fell in love. I wear my synthetics while I let my hair grow, but I love the fact that I can go from hair, I don't know, about 2-3 inches to 28 inches worth of hair, you know, with just a couple rubber bands and some good sectioning.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's very versatile. You can do it with any hair type. I use the crochet method, which works with any hair texture to create locks instantly. And usually skips a bit of that maturing process, you know, that kind of craziness. Right. I really fell in love with that method for its versatility.
That's awesome. So when it comes to locks, what all type of locks do you do? Is it just interlocking? Is it just temporary? Is it permanent? Like what all goes into that?
That is a fair question. So I do retwist. So I do twisting and I do crochet. I don't do interlocking mostly because interlocking is a hard one when you decide to change your mind on the method later. It doesn't translate very well that way, and they're finding that it might create tension spots. And so, and so with the crochet hook, you can kind of like maintain it a little better. I can do, these are temporary. They usually wear in for about a month. I don't like to leave them in longer. You can. But when you comb it out, it starts to tangle a little bit because it's all that new growth is still in the hair. Gotcha. And with permanent locks, you know, maintenance is usually about once a month. And as they mature, it'll be a little longer and longer when you start just working on the root instead of going in. I really love the fact that with locks, it's all your hair. Like you get to keep it. Everything that, you know what I mean?
Right.
I love
it's
that.
like you're like, everything is mine.
Yes, and I found out, you know, that you can do things like, for me, and this might sound kind of silly because I'm totally like a pet person, but my cat passed. And so I had the vet collect his hair. And so I'm actually going to make a permanent lock of in my hair that's like my cat's hair.
Your cat's hair.
And you can do that with your kid's hair, with your baby's hair, like, and all sorts of stuff. It's just kind of cool.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day. Oh, awesome. Okay.
All right. So tell me about you, right?
Well, first we need to know your goals. So you
true.
tell me what your goals are and what are you looking to do for 2022 and beyond?
So my goal is to educate and share knowledge. I've noticed that even some of the sources that I use to learn from, just within a few months, were shut down. Like, information is too precious and people are, you know, charging so much for it. And for me, for some of us, especially when it comes to textured hair, this isn't just about style.
Right.
This is about daily, day-to-day life. Like, when you wake up in the morning, how many hours you got to comb through your hair, or, you know what I mean? Like, how can you use protective hairstyles? I want it to be common, especially in this area. It just doesn't feel like it should be a specialization.
Right.
I think no matter who sits in your chair, you should be able to do that hair. And I'm here through this year to try to like spread that as much as I can to create a safe space for everyone, whether it be people of color, LGBTQI, whatever, anyone could come to our spot and feel like they're at home for a couple hours.
I love it. I definitely have gotten that vibe from a lot of our clients. They definitely are really loving, you know, the openness of our salon and what we have to offer. So that's awesome. So
yeah, I'm pretty excited for this year.
Yes, 2022.
Wait, I'm not cool enough to do that. Right, I'm like, look, it's 2022.
We'll get it together.
Yeah, it's fine.
Awesome.
All right, and so now tell me about you, Renee.
How
did you get into hair? Yeah, how did you get into hair?
So I have to say, I actually have always played with hair a lot, especially when I was younger with Barbies and things. But I had a friend of mine who I actually used to go to school with, and we rode the same bus. And I would always braid her hair on the bus, and I'd play with it, and it would be so cute. She'd come to school with it in the next day. And I just absolutely loved it. And it was just something about the freedom of having the freedom to create, you know, that artistry, you know, being able to take somebody who feels bad or doesn't love their hair, they hate their hair, they're just like, oh my God, I want to shave it all off, to taking them to that moment where they're just like, oh my God. Like, I literally feel like I'm 20 again. like this is amazing.
Right.
Like, I haven't looked this good in so long, and I love that. That is the gratification that I get from it. When somebody is just like, oh my God, I've gotten tears, I've gotten hugs, I've gotten gifts. Like, it's just crazy. But that feeling of making someone feel good and gain their confidence back that they didn't have. Maybe they went through a breakup. Maybe they went through a divorce. Maybe they gained weight. Maybe they lost weight. Maybe, you know, whatever the situation is. But I enjoy making people feel good about themselves. And I say people because we have men, we have women, you know, we've got transgender, we've got some of everybody, and we want everyone to feel comfortable, because that's what it's all about, being able to be comfortable in your shell. That's something that was hard for me growing up, because I was always the overweight kid, or the kid who had a little bit more, you know, weight on her. And so I got teased, you know. And so as I got older, I'm just like, you know, how can I reverse that? How can I be that person on the other end being like, girl, you got this. You're beautiful. Don't worry about what other people think about you. Walk in your own shoes, you know, feel good about that. Take pride in getting up in the morning and being like, you know what? I'm that bad girl. I'm that bad, you know, whoever, you know, like, I got this. So that's what really got me into doing hair. And honestly, when I was younger, I dated someone, and I played around with my hair. And if you're anybody like me and you have highly textured hair as you grew up, relaxers were what we were taught to use. Ooh. You know that.
We can make videos on videos about relaxers.
So I literally, like, I was getting relaxers since I was like probably 6. And I met this person, and I decided, they were like, oh, you know, I had been really wanting to get my hair bright. And they were like, the only way to get it bright is you're going to have to lighten it. So I had to bleach it, right? Well, that was before I was a hairstylist, so I didn't know those two things didn't go together. So I'm just like, oh, this is cool. So I did it, and yeah, next thing you know, I walked out of the barbershop with like this much hair, which was not great. And I was very sad when my hair was like down to here, so it was horrible. So I ended up, from that moment, I knew that I needed to figure out what the appropriate way was to be able to do hair, especially if this was going to be something I could see myself doing in the long run. I knew I just had to do it. So I decided to go back to school. So I've been doing hair, playing around with it for at least 15 years. But I've been professionally licensed for about 8 years now. And loving every bit of it, and never wanting to change it. I've tried so many other avenues of work, and everything led me back to hair. I would be like, when I worked for Verizon, I was selling cell phones, and I'm sitting here talking like, oh my gosh, well, who does your hair? While I'm sitting here like uploading all their information from their other phone. Right. I'm like, wow, okay, so where do you go? Oh, that's awesome. Okay, well, guess what? I do hair too. Now I'm totally not even talking about phones. I'm now on hair. And I've totally been sitting here for an hour, and we're sitting here chatting about hair. So I always knew that it was going to be what I did, and I've always come back to it, and now I'm just like, I'm going to run with it. It's my thing.
And I think it's pretty admirable to go from having all these difficulties with hair to wanting to share that unique experience of no, it can be so great. And I love that about you. I think it's one of the reasons that we click so well for this business.
Absolutely.
And speaking of which, tell me more about your name.
So Southern Bella Babe Salon. So talking about that, it was funny. I had a name before, and I rebranded, and I wanted to change the name. And I was like, okay, I want the name to speak for me. I want the name to be some form of where I'm from, my roots. And I'm originally from Georgia. Everybody knows, or if you have known me, I'm from the South. And I'm very laid back. I'm very just chill. And I'm like, you know what? I'm truly a Southern belle. I was like, I like to speak proper, and I like to get all dolled up, and I'm like, you know what? I think that's it. So it was like Southern Bella Babe Salon, and I'm like, I like it. My spouse and I were playing around with names, and I'm just like, oh my God, I love it. I'm like, you know, you hear things and you write things down and you're like, okay, that could be cute, right? It's like, is that it? And it's like, no. And then you sit there and you say it many times and you're like, is that it? Can I see myself saying that name like forever? But then it's like, no. And then when my spouse said Southern Bella Babe Salon, I'm like, yes, that's it. I could see myself SBBS.
Yeah.
Southern Bella Babe Salon. So that's where it ended up coming from, and I really love it, and I think it's stuck. And it's nice because when clients come in, they also say the same thing. They're like, oh, or when I tell them I'm from the South, they're like, oh, hence, you know, Southern Bella Babe. And I was like, yep, there it is. I'm from the South. So I don't know. I love it.
I think it's really nice because it helps people who are in this area who are from the South
exactly
kind of find like a little piece of
little
home.
Piece of home,
right? Because you walk in and there's a smell, like it smells amazing in here. I hate to brag, but it's like aromatherapy in here. Yeah. I mean, from the how many times you say ma'am throughout a day, like, and so polite, yeah, even, because I'm not, I don't know, what do you call it? I'm from the Caribbean, right? So
right,
I'm like,
so you're just direct, blunt.
Yeah, exactly, like, there's definitely that difference. I really appreciate the culture you bring into it.
Thank you.
And so, let's see, what's next? Our goals, or your goals, right? Goals for this year.
I was going to say, yeah, 2022 is a big year for us. So our goals, we're moving into our second year in business. We're super excited. And what we're looking to do, and what my goal is for our videos that we're doing, is to basically bridge the gap between clients and stylists. I feel as though us stylists and as stylists, we just take clients, we do clients, we make you happy, that's it. But it's at the end of the day, it's those times where we get those clients where it's like, oh my God, well, why can't I have platinum white hair when my hair is like pitch black? And it's like, well, if you want string cheese as hair, then I can totally do it. But if you want healthy hair, then there's stages and there's processes. So what I'm hoping to do is bridge that gap between clients and stylists, have better understanding of why when you go to a stylist, if they say they can't achieve that particular thing because of this or your hair, or because of previous work you've had done on your hair, just anything, it'll help the client better understand why the stylist is saying what they're saying. And then it helps us as stylists to be able to better communicate it to our clients so that our clients can understand. Because as a stylist, one thing I'm big on is education. Mm-hmm. Education. Educate your client. If you educate your client to what is good for their hair, what's not good for their hair, why this is not good for their hair, then they better understand, okay, this is why I don't use it. Something that I was taught in beauty school is when someone tells you to do something, never just do it, always ask them why, or give me the reasoning, not to be an ass about it, but like, just to say like, hey, like, why do you want me to do this? Or like, why do you not want me to like blow dry my hair, or why would you like me to put my head down and blow dry it this way? Oh, it gives me volume. Oh, that makes sense. So this is why I'm having you do that. I'm not just saying blow dry your hair upside down and you're sitting here looking at me like, okay, that's kind of crazy. Why can't I just do it normal? Oh, because I'm trying to help you create volume in your hair.
Right.
So it's just to help bridge that gap between clients and stylists. And also I just want to help educate clients, educate them on visually seeing it. I'm a visual learner. I don't know about anybody else, but being in the hair industry, I think most of us are visual learners. But basically showing our clients like, hey, this is why you can't do this to your hair, or this is why, you should get a haircut this often, or this is why you should do this, or XYZ. So I just want to educate, bridge the gap between clients, and then just to bring some knowledge, bring education, knowledge, and just do what I can to put the word out there to create the awareness around healthy hair. Healthy hair is always the big key. If you don't have healthy hair, we can't really do much to it. So the healthier your hair is, the more things you can do to it. So.
Right, and I think maybe that was like what we've gone through in our life is that we tried every other way to get our hair did except the right way, and now it's like we gotta share this because it's true. There's so many frustrations that clients have, and so many issues with like even just at home care and styling that could so easily be not fixed but lightened.
Absolutely. By
some knowledge, like this is why hard water does this to your hair. This is why you don't shampoo every day, and we'll go through all those things in different videos. But it's really key information that I've always felt like we're sort of like educating our guests on how to maintain their hair, and that's so important.
Absolutely, very important. Maintaining your hair at home is key for us as stylists, because if you don't maintain it at home, when you come in and we have crap to work with, your result may be crap because of what you've been doing at home, you know.
That's when you start hearing words like detoxing.
Right, clarifying. Exactly.
Yep.
So it's definitely true. Or we're sending you home with little treatments, and we're like, we need you to do this once a week so that your hair doesn't fall out.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
So, yeah, absolutely. So, we're super excited. We're very happy that you guys are taking the time to watch our videos. Definitely, if you have time, we'd love for you to go under and subscribe. This is definitely going on our YouTube channel, and we're definitely looking to grow that and grow our audience, and just tell everyone about us.
Right, can't wait till that moment where we're like, subscribe here. Like right now, I wouldn't know where you hit.
Right,
Subscribe, or I'm gonna link a video out there. Like I can't wait, because right now I'm like, just make sure you click the button.
Just hit the subscribe to S button. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming and sharing some time with us. Again, I'm Renee with Southern Bella Babe Salon.
And I'm Avery with Areito Locs at Southern Bella Babe Salon.
And we appreciate you guys. Thank you.